Everything's frozen. Give it a second. There we go. Hey guys, Tales of Turam here. Domino, explain what we're doing.
Oh, fuck. All right. So, Fire and War has come in a very strange new direction, as longtime listeners may or may
Flame
not
and
know.
a tale of flame and steel. Yes.
Hail, flame, fire, and steel, whatever. I don't know
Fire and
anymore,
steel, kind of
man.
the same thing.
Look, the fire and the steel. The fire is kind of not super present anymore. It's mostly the steel now, and even then, that's kind of up for debate. Anyways, Theolyn and his fucked up cat
Yeah.
are in the city in the Angelic Aeilands, looking for Sypha.
Man, you would not make a good recording DM.
Okay, look, is Ben a minute? It's like 1 in the morning.
True.
I'm
True.
doing great right now, man. I'm having a great time.
It's 2 a.m. for me, baby.
It's 11.
Well, look at you.
for me.
Oh yeah, it must be fucking nice.
No,
See,
I
I'm in
just
the
got off an
correct
8-hour
time zone.
fucking work. I got off a 40-hour work week just now, man. I'm not feeling good.
You know. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
Having a good time.
Alright. Anyway, so, as Domino was saying, welcome back to a Tale of Flame and Steel. We are here with Domino and Basilius, if you'd like to say hello.
Hello.
Indeed. Hello.
Damn, I don't know why I have you turned up so high, Domino. You're at like 186 or something. Anyways, but I think it was because you used to like talk away from your mic, and now you're talking to your mic. It's fine. I just turned you down a bit.
Yeah, I think it was on mobile last session. That's why.
Yeah, that's definitely why I had you at 100 before, I believe. Anyways, but last session, well, the previous, Ryan, Pharaoh, and Theolyn had made their way to Catola to free Bemin's people from their enslavers under Horcles' legion. Making their way there, character growth upon Theolyn's part, learning his mother was being dicked down by his pope
God
of his
damn it.
religion. Getting engaged to a woman who he learned to be the King and Iron's daughter. Yeah. And Liliana, a friend of Theolyn's, getting engaged to her mother. Speaking about a triple marriage in the Angelic Aeilands, eventually Theolyn would return to the other party after killing a few innocent people and starting to go mad. If anybody's watched JJK, you know the scene with the blood guy, and he's like, I just killed the main character, haha, oh no, I'm going insane, kind of shit. That was a funny joke that Gesh made, and I liked it. He turned into a berserker of flame, in similar note to the King in Iron, but with golden gleaming armor of radiance, and began to wreak havoc on Rue Village, his home village, before being teleported away. The last thing he saw was his mother on death's door because of him. After being teleported back to his other group, he fell from the sky, and they dealt with him there, where he was dealt swiftly by Ryan Pharaoh, who appeared from the skies, a bit agitated at the events that were transpiring the last few days on Kutola. He said, fuck it, we ball, let's go destroy a tower. And he showed his big dick why he's called the Investiture of Flame, as he destroyed the tower in a fell swoop, creating a portal to the King's Realm, the King's Land of the Land of Fire, wherein he gave a piece of his soul to the King in Iron to walk his halls eternally, and it was finally revealed the truth behind the King in Iron. Though he may be lonely because of his power being larger than others and being who he is, he was not truly alone, as he could have taken others into his service, and the three brothers seemingly having been lied to an extent, as one's truth is not always the same as another's. However, this was a bit of deception. Understanding this, Ryan was furious?
He was a little pissed. Yeah.
Furious,
A little.
and demanded he and Theolyn leave immediately. As they did, they left told everyone, see ya, we're not gonna fucking send you, I'll send a boat so you can fucking get off Katola that way, and went back to Darath with Theolyn, after his great king so graciously teleported them there, having his power extended further. Ryan sat in his chair and told Theolyn, I'm angry, fuck that guy, and cut off his arm. To which Theolyn responded, why? Oh, okay. Shit. And then the room blew up and they both decided to go their separate ways for a while, as Theolyn was given an ultimatum which he had to decide within a month. Whether to stay alongside the King in Iron and leave Ryan Farrow to his own fate. Or go along with why he was brought back here, to aid Ryan Farrow and to save his life. Or, and in doing so, losing the ability and permission of the king to travel within his realms, meaning he could not marry Pyre, his engaged sweetheart. With this in mind, Theolyn traveled to the capital in search of Sypha at Ryan Farrow's behest. Found a strange cat in the wizard school, and they both decided to travel instantaneously to the Angelic Aeilands to search after Sypha, where she had seemingly last been going. Mentions of her notes. You can read further. I would say you brought some of the notes that were mentioning this shit with you. However, as you walked through the streets, you bought some fish, talked to people, and noticed a surge of guards and individuals looking to hire for the greater good of Shugaroth, the Shugarothian Church looking to hire mercenaries for their ranks and their possible siege of the dying continent of Fafnir. And that is where we left off. As you look toward, as our vision pans back in from the northern and western mountains, over the Dragon's Spine to the north, which is this golden ridged mountainous line, as I would say you guys probably would have slept for the night just to regain any expended things. As the sun is rising on the distant hills, it burrows through the windows, the crystal windows of this beautiful seashored, beautiful city. Well, city, town, whatever you want to call it. As the ports are open and ringing, as day is beginning to come, as the fresh sea air pours in. As you both awaken in your separate rooms, I would assume, correct?
Yeah.
Tosk will literally sleep anywhere. You can put him on the roof and he's chill.
Well, then we'll buy one room for
both,
the convenience.
As you both awaken, you get yourselves ready, and you head out your door, and out of this inn, called let's call it the Captain's Quarters, is the inn.
Alright.
And tavern. As you make your way out into the city streets, on the eastern quay of the city, walking past a large octagonal building which you recognize, Theolyn, as Barnabas's place. What are you two doing?
I have the letter in the necklace I need to give to Barnabas. This is his place. Cat friend, do you mind if I make a quick stop? I gotta deliver a letter in a necklace. Or a pendant.
So long as it's quick.
It shouldn't take too long. Hopefully he's here. If not, then I'll just come back another time, and I'll enter the hexagonal building.
As you
Or
enter,
attempt to.
well, as you go up, you can enter in, because he does have it open for any customers that want to come in, even though he's not open. It's just he's not open to the general public. So if, like, a commoner comes in, like, sir, can I get some bottle of ointment for my STDs down here? He's gonna be like, fuck
What?
off. But, yeah. Anyways, as you walk in, the both of you flash into his shop as the door does flash you in. As you enter amidst an argument, there seems to be quite a few people in here. You see Barnabas is in the middle of preparing, packing things. As you could see, a drow woman, beautiful drow woman with flowing hair, white hair, many leathers, and a like almost like this ballista styled weapon on her left arm, who seems to be like grabbing items like weapons. And you can see Barnabas has like locked her in, like unable to move with like magic. As he's like getting stuff ready, she's like broken out of it. At this point, she's throwing shit at him, and you hear, Priscilla, calm down. Listen to me. If that cheating bitch is going to get away with it, I'm going to go cut off his testicles. And she's starting to get angry at him. As you can also see, multiple like guards and clerics and paladins of the city, of the church, are just watching like as they throw shit back. And you can see like one important looking figure with a pretty curled mustache that then falls over and joins in with his mutton chops, but he has no beard, so it's just like a mutton chop kind of facial hair, and he has this slicked back black hair. He's just standing there in these beautiful vestments, and he's just like watching this all go down. You can see he's like starting to tap his fingers in a little bit of anger at having to wait this long. There is definitely a scene.
Oh, Priscilla!
She stops and turns to you. You rotten bastard. And she's gonna walk up to you and, like, grab you by the coat. I thought you and Bill would watch over each other.
Well, I was in service to Ryan Farrow, and Bill, what do you mean? What do you mean by this exactly? I'm a little confused.
Roll a deception check for me.
I actually am. I think I left before he cheated. Or not cheated.
Actually, you did. So roll me a persuasion check.
My persuasion is +9. That's not great. 16.
16.
Yeah.
Well, let's just say Bill stuck his dick in weird places. So I'm going to cut his dick off.
Oh. I'm sorry, Priscilla.
Do you know where he is?
Last time I believe I saw him was in the Theolyn village, but he might have left by now. I'm not sure. I left them a boat. They might be going to Riverton.
Riverton?
Possibly.
Okay. You see her flick her hands together, and you watch Tosk as she seems to be carving a similar magic to one you used yesterday, as she casts teleport and disappears.
Lovely lady. Hi, Barnabas. How are you?
Worse now that you're here.
I have a caramel popcorn.
Better.
Popcorn.
Anyways, just 1 second. He says to the like high-ranking figure, "Of course, Barnabas. I, a great priest of Sugaroth, shall wait for when you're done with your petty squabbles and talking. I'll just wait over here in the corner with this chair." And he just walks over and sits down in a chair.
Oh, see, he'll wait. Anyways.
Yes, let's make this fast, because I do not want to lose a shop I already have not opened yet.
I have a letter and pendant from my mother she said to give to you.
Your mother? Who is your mother?
Yeah. God, what is her name? Hold on, let me get NPCs real quick. Morgiana.
You see his eyes like flick for a second, and he just seems to be reminiscing some great past encounters.
Don't tell me you're my father.
No. I met her too. You're not like 15, right?
No, I'm well in my 20s.
Then no, I'm not your father then.
Okay.
But I might know who your father is. No, it couldn't be him. Anyways, what is this? A necklace? Oh, yes, I remember. I gave this to her as I was fawning over her. Yes. Beautiful necklace piece. Anyways, and this letter, did she say it was private, or would you like me to read it to you, or...?
Well, she didn't actually say anything. I don't remember. Did she? I think she just told me to give him the letter.
He opens it with his little letter knife he has, and he begins to read it as you can smell this perfume coming off of it.
Oh, no.
Oh. Well. Okay. Interesting. Really? Him? He crumbles it up and burns it away.
Oh.
Well, I mean, you could roll a persuasion check if you wanted to read it, but it seems to be private matters. He's not discussing with you.
Yeah, yeah. It has to do with my mother. I'd like to know.
Okay.
Um.
DC's pretty high on this one.
Uh.
What is your
What's
persuasion bonus?
It's a +9.
Okay, you can roll. You can roll it without a natural 20.
I'm trying to do some mental math. I can't do this at 2 a.m. I need a calculator. 17 plus 9, 26.
That beats the DC. He looks at you, and as he's about to burn it, he goes, "If you so want to know, you can take this letter. However, it may... How should I say this?" As he hands over the letter. "May be worth just tossing to the side and forgetting you ever were given it. It will most likely change your direction in life."
Oh, seems pretty important. I have a task to do. I'll pocket it. I'll deal with that later. I have to go meet Sypha.
Oh, so you're looking for Sypha?
Yeah.
She came through a few days ago, asking about a relic I had before that I had used.
Do you know where she's gone?
Yes, she's gone to the three. What is it called? You went there for your Shigurothian.
My
So you
pilgrimage.
Yes, your pilgrimage. What is it called? The Three Mountain City. What is it called again?
Hold on. I have that actually in my backstory.
I know.
think.
This is why I wrote it for your backstory, because I forgot it.
Authentication. It just says I went to the Angelic Aeilands. I don't think I have a.
It should say it. We'll call it the Tri-Spires for now.
Okay.
She went to the Three Mountain City, we'll call it. And she's looking for, I believe, her name was Ira of the Liches Union.
Went to the train. Looking for Shira.
Ira. IRA.
Of the Liches.
Well, any of them, but Ira seemed to come up in our conversation. What an interesting little fellow you have by your side. Hello, I am Barnabas of Barnabas's Bounty.
I know.
You know of me? Oh, I guess I overstepped my bounds then. And you may be?
I am Tosk. I fear we may have to do business in the coming days, but as of yet I have no money on which to spend.
Do you need money? I have money.
Gold will come in droves, I'm sure, but if you've some to spare, I wouldn't mind it.
I have 50,000. I can spare a few.
Where are you keeping all of that money, by the way, Theolyn? Because...
You want to... Oh, you're asking this in character? You're asking as the DM?
Theolyn, he's interested because he doesn't know if you have a coin purse of holding or if you've shoved it up your ass or what. And it also means the DM asking too.
I flaunt my coat of holding I took from the previous mayor.
An interesting
and I opened the pockets.
Small hoard. So, what is it you would like in my shop of purveyed goods of magical intent, little one?
High-ranking Shigurothian person. It's like, God fucking damn it.
Yeah, he's obviously in the corner, like, you can see he's taking a look at each of you, and you are of Shigurothian Church, so he's giving you a little bit of time. But you can see he's getting way more pissed. You can see he's, like, starting to mark you guys off as, like, fuck these guys, kind of.
If you truly must conduct your business beforehand, I'd be fine to browse your wares in the meantime.
Roguish. And you see a half-orc female walks in, similar to the one that you saw before, but it was her brother specifically. As she walks in, you could see her hair is pulled back into dreadlocks. You could see she looks like a sailor, but she's wearing the flowing robes, the long left earring of golds and silvers, as well as the many rings upon her hands that are common with Barnabas's shop. And as she comes walking in, yes, my liege. I told you not to call me that. Help my friends here. They have a special discount. And he walks over to the others to start conducting his business. I am Rockish. He calls me Rogish, but it is Rockish. Raguish. Rockish. I come from Orselli. She starts to share her entire backstory with you. You guys
Theolyn will listen in rapture.
Osk is going to, like, after referencing a few of the indexes in his spell book, just pipe up and blatantly interrupt her.
I come from the Orsellium, the land of the
I will
orcs.
need a cage of silver, a very small one, and a small hunk of ivory, a small decorative set of gems alongside it. I'll also need a great deal of powdered silver, and I mean a great deal.
This we can do. Silver will be hard. Our stock bought long ago by, she points to the priests. Special ritual. Anyways, is there a gold cost to what you're looking for?
Yes, actually.
To
I
all
would
the
like
other
to-
things?
I need, the ivory and gems is 1,500 gold. I will need another, the silver cage needs to be worth 100, and then I'd like 400 gold worth of powdered silver.
So
So
3,000,
2,000?
3,100, or is it 1,500 for the ivory and the gems?
The ivory and gems are 1,500 together.
Okay, so that's 1,500, 1,600, and you
It's
can't.
2,000.
Well, you can't really get the powder, as she was saying. It was kind of all bought up recently.
Can I give her
Actually,
my...
let me roll a d100 to see if they would have gotten it, because it's been about a week. But powdered silver is really weird to come by, especially in the Angelic Aeilands, where undead are, like, killed very... Well, it's captured by people who hunt the undead. So it's really hard to come by in the Aeilands, but let me see if they do have it in stock. Domino, give me a 20-point area on a d100. Like, let's say 21 to, like, let's say 41 or something.
Let's go 50 to 70.
50 to 70? 59. So,
Wait.
they have just enough for the 400 gold worth. So, they do have the materials you need if you would like to buy those for 2,000 or ask Theolyn here.
I have a lot of money. You can just ask me.
These will serve as necessary spell components. I don't intend to use most of them until Sypha's knowledge has been imparted, but nonetheless it's best to be prepared. If
That's
you should wish, there are also certain items which might enhance the potency of my spells, but that's where things start to get a little too pricey. 50,000 will get you a great distance, but certainly not the whole race.
Well, I can buy you material components, and I'll hand over 2,000. What exactly was the book you were looking for, or the thing to enhance your spell casting?
Well, wands, staves, other catalysts. Truth be told, it does not much matter to me. However, one thing we should likely consider: inks. Fine inks. For you, of course. You are a priest, are you not? And a rather well-blessed one at that.
At this point, you can see Rogish is beginning to pull out a few things from behind the counter, and she puts a small crate down. You can see this mixed match of magical things. You can see a few books, tomes that seem to have latches. They seem pretty old in nature, but like pretty common to your knowledge. You could see a small box, like about a 3-foot long box that is about a foot tall at most. Well, not even that, about half a foot tall, made of just this beautiful rust red kind of fabric. Fabric that goes over the box of wood itself, and it seems to be the box. It's not a box that like opens up, but it's a box you pull the top off of, and you can put it back on. If you get what I'm saying, like it squeezes tightly, and you pull it off, and you put it back on. It has a few designs of gold on it. You can see, what else were you looking for?
He was mostly just listing things, but he'd begun to dive into inks specifically.
Inks. You could see she also pulls out a small crate of inks as well as potions. We have these that you are requesting at the moment to look through at least.
The inks, Theolyn, would be for you and not me. I can produce my own as I need them, but you...
by the way, Theolyn, go ahead and add 1,000 gold back because you guys have a 50% discount. Continue.
Hey.
You, however, if you might record your rites and prayers, your miracles on thin paper, I can etch them into the paper of my own tome. To do so would grant me their powers, to cast them as spells.
Oh, huh. I honestly didn't think about writing my own.
Paladins are weird. They can do that, but it takes some time. It takes a lot of time to do that. Simply because, unlike clerics who like can read through like the lists of like miracles and whatnot, paladins are a bit more weird. But go ahead, continue.
I'm going rules as written here. That's all I'm saying.
That's fine.
I've never thought about writing my own manifesto, but I guess you have a point, Tosk. Yeah, Tor. I'm sorry. How much for the ink?
That will depend on what you intend to record. That would, of course, determine how much we need.
Shit. I'll. What's like a a normal amount? Fuck.
So what you'd probably be looking for here is the price it takes to produce spell scrolls.
Oh.
Yippee.
Yay. Okay. Well, what would I give you?
Let me see here. Hold on. I got my Xanathars right here.
It's 100 gold worth of paper and pen and ink, I believe, per level of spell. And it's in an hour to write down the spell into your book specifically. To record the spell, to do that, I would say it would cost about a 50% increase on that, so 150 in materials in total per spell level.
By record, do you mean like it wouldn't go away
to write it down on a piece of paper would increase the total price he would have to use, which would be, let's say, 100 gold of just like, let's say, ink and paper, because he's like making mistakes and trying to like generalize what he's seeing without like all the extra shit and actually creating the spell. It would cost him 100 gold, but to record it down onto a piece of paper for him to then use and record into his spell book would be about 150 gold on average still. For one spell of first level, for example. So it would be 150 gold per level of the spell. So if it's a second level spell, it's 300.
I'll try and get you something pretty.
Okay, here it is. Sorry.
Unless there's a better way, Domino, because that's all I recall.
I have the official chart pulled up here from Xanathar's Guide.
Pull it up.
Okay. So, it appears that... Okay, shit. What the fuck was that?
Cilius just left because he got kicked from the call, apparently. I don't know.
Yeesh.
He's gonna join back on his phone, probably.
Yeah.
Hello.
Okay. Hey, sorry, my Discord fucking crashed. I might join from my phone soon if it happens again.
Alright, so, were there any spells, by chance, that you would explicitly like to impart to the little man?
There's probably a few good ones. Do you already have Dispel Magic?
Okay, so try to think more in the realm of spells not on the wizard spell list.
Okay. Well, I don't know the full wizard spell list, so I'm just gonna.
Lesser Restoration, Greater Restoration.
That's true. I don't have Greater Restoration. I do have Lesser Restoration, so that'd be good.
That new spell you have.
Yeah, I can give that to you.
Good, yeah, it's your specific spell.
All right, it's a first level spell. I will.
Domino, go ahead. So it's a first level
I have
paladin
it
spell
written
that he
down.
has, specifically Domino.
All
I'm
right.
gonna send him the information.
Don't send him yet. Don't send him yet. Not until he takes the time to write it down.
Yeah, but I got it copied.
Okay. Go ahead, Domino.
So, right. The cost of a first level spell is 25 gold in materials.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and
So,
I would say that's for you to write down, correct? Like that's
no,
him.
that's to craft the spell scroll.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a 50% increase. Sorry, my bad. So yeah, 25 gold plus the 100 for materials for you to write it down, right? What level? Wait, what kind of mage are you? I forgot to ask this for some reason. Scribes?
A scribe.
Scribes.
And what does scribes do? Does that give you like a discount to that?
All right. The time you must spend to copy a spell into your spellbook equals 2 minutes per spell level, even if you use the spell for transcription. So the cost yet remains the same.
Okay, so it's 100 gold worth of materials plus the 25 for him to make the spell scroll. So it'd be 125 gold. Reduced, I would say, material because you're buying the amount of material, but you have the 50% discount. So to do that one spell would cost you 65 would be 120, 130. So this would be 62.5 gold. So 62 gold and 5 silver.
For each level of the spell, the process takes 2 hours and costs 50 gold points. So this would cost a total of 75 gold. So yeah, that would be 25. Okay, so this would be on base 37 gold, 5 silver.
Wait, why is it halved again?
You'd been having everything, right?
Yes, I halved the cost. So the discount for the materials specifically is 62.5. But then like the amount of out. What do you mean by the amount of hours? Sorry, I don't use this a lot. If you couldn't tell.
Okay, the hours are broadly irrelevant. It is 50 gold for the inks to put it in my spellbook.
Mm-hmm.
It is 25 gold to get the materials to make the scroll itself, for a total of 75.
Oh, I'm sorry. So it was only 50 for you. Okay.
Correct.
So that's 75, and then that would be reduced to 37.5. Okay, 37 gold, 5 silver. Sorry. I thought it was 100. I thought it was 100 gold. That's my bad. I don't know why.
Okay.
Oh, that's because it's my new system I'm thinking of. Sorry, Domino.
We'll do that one. That's gonna be actually pretty good for you.
But that's for one spell.
Yeah, that's for one spell, and then I'll do Shield of Faith, so that's another 37.5. I'm doing this with my calculator.
Okay. So that would be 60,
75
74, 75. Yeah, 75 gold at the moment.
Let's move on to second. Does second level increase that price?
Yes, second level will increase it a good bit. The materials just to make the spell scroll are 250 gold.
Oh.
And to scribe it, that 50 would go up to 100s for a total of 350 gold.
Which will have itself to 150.
350 down to 175.
There we go.
Oh, my bad.
I love wizards. I love math.
Yeah, you do. We'll do Lesser Restoration, obviously.
Alright. Any other spells? Well, remember, you're gonna... Well, specifically, Basilius, you're gonna have to spend, I believe it is, an hour, right, Domino? Because of the gold cost? To describe the spell himself. To create the spell scroll.
To create the spell scroll, oh boy, for a first level spell, it takes a day. For a second level, it takes 3.
You can do that on travel. I would say. And you guys, while you're making the spell scroll, he could be looking at how you're writing it down. I'd say it would just I'll say just for the sake of it, we'll say that you're gonna do this during travel, so you don't have to like do all this extra bullshit. So,
All right.
any other spells?
No, I
besides-
think that's it for now.
Okay.
That's 225
Yep.
All right.
minus that from my.
All right.
The...
I will say the I believe it's holy armor is what it's called, right?
Yeah.
That takes barely any time to transcribe, by the way. Just because you know exactly what it is, you know how to write it down, what it does. Unlike the others, which are like, okay, I have a rough idea of how the magic is here, so it'd only take 4 days in total to transcribe
Ah,
everything.
perfect. This will be
All
great
right.
for you, Domino. Your squishy wizard AC is about to be.
You look at his AC and it's like 80.
Oh no! Wait, what is it?
It is only 14.
Anyways,
Yeah.
so Ragish looks to you and goes, "Is that all you would like to buy? You would not like to purchase any of these interesting items?"
At a later time, perhaps, but the present moment, there is yet no need.
I have two things to do. We gotta go see Sypha, and then I gotta warn the Liches Union about a certain fellow.
Indeed.
So, as you pick up your things and begin to leave, you pass by Barnabas, but you can see he's talking, but there's nothing coming out of his mouth, and the individuals are also talking, but nothing's coming out of their mouth, as if this is a private conversation. But to not disturb you or kick you out, he muted the area around him. As you wave towards Barnabas, he waves to you as you leave his abode and begin to head out back into the streets. Now aware of Sypha's position. Heading towards
Awesome.
Lich's Union, which is on the far east of the continent. You are on the far west. The entire trek, I would say, to your knowledge, Basilius, because you've done this before, you took a cart because it was much faster. The Angelic Aeilands are large rising hills and mountains and deep valleys next to
Oh,
them.
perfect. Perfect.
Specifically, it is one of the largest continents on the map I have. I would say the second or third largest. It would take, on foot, about a year to travel from the east to the western side of the continent.
Oh my god.
Just because of the difficulty, the difficulty spike of all the other shit.
What about on Mountain Ram back?
Mountain
What's
Ram
that?
back.
Bartholomew.
Bartholomew?
Yeah.
You could cut that down heavily because Bartholomew is meant to climb mountains. You just completely get rid of that like multiplier there. It would take you, depending on how far you go each day, and depending on the difficulties associated with it, besides for the climbing, because that's mountaineering is just completely negated with him. It could take you up to a month.
Okay, that's.
It takes 10 times
Heavily.
longer. He left again. It takes 10
Oh,
times
boy.
longer because of the mountainous range. If you're walking, if you follow the paths, it takes a little bit less time, but not enough, unfortunately.
Fuck it, I'm joining from my phone.
Good, okay.
Disconnecting.
It would take you within a month, maybe a little bit longer, depending. But following the roads with Bartholomew, it may be a bit better. Now, I also will put this in your mind as you're thinking about this, Theolyn, going out and saying this out loud as you guys are walking through the streets. Flight would take you that size. If you fly the same speed you walk, around the same time as Bartholomew, about a month.
Okay.
Maybe a bit less. That's accounting for 10 hours of rest time on the ground. If you just buck straight for it, probably 3 weeks.
I think then traveling on Bartholomew's back would be probably the fastest beyond the flight. Do you mind taking a month of travel?
You know, I wouldn't if I had permanency. But nope. Let's do it.
Unless you got to teleport.
I mean, we could, but aimless teleportation
Damn it.
is a whole
Mishaps
recipe.
are fun.
What?
Mishaps are fun.
Yeah.
I need to get my damn floating tower up and working, but I can't do that without permanency.
Yeah. We'll get there eventually, I think. Then we can just go on Bartholomew. I guess. Yeah. I'll summon Bartholomew.
So you watch as you guys get to the edge and towards one of the large rising hills that seems to go eastern with the pathway on it. And you guys go a little bit off the pathway and you're wondering, what kind of creature is he going to summon? Like, you're like, mountain goat. Okay, it's going to have a mountain ram. It's going to have the horns. We could hold on to it. It's going to be like a small, shaggy creature. As he finishes incantation, you see appearing this 15-foot tall, large, muscular creature with shaggy fur that drapes down like curtains. You can see his two large, bulging yellow eyes with goat kind of pupils to them. These large horns that twist backwards, almost piercing the back of its cranium. And even though it's fucking hulking muscles kind of throw you off, you can see veins and whatnot through them. What throws you off the most is the front hooves are not hooves. They are the hands of a man, as it seems to stretch its fingers out and grab the rocks around it. And you hear a confident and heroic
Bartholomew! I missed you.
I am uncertain whether to be disturbed or comforted.
A bit of froth is dropping from its mouth.
Bartholomew is a noble steed.
I suppose I am no stranger to such strange things.
Don't worry, he's well traversed for the mountainous regions of this land. We should be able to get to the Lich's Union in no time.
On the topic, by the way.
Yeah.
What is your opinion on the demons?
Demons? Do you mean the Liches or the Lich's Union?
No.
Oh.
Fiends. Creatures of the abyss.
Well, I suppose.
Theolyn, let me just go over this with you lore-wise, because you are a religious person. The Abyss is specifically in lore a place where those who are dangerous or evil to the point of destroying the world to an extent, chaotic creatures, like, for example, think Harkin, the Destroyer. They would be sealed in the Abyss, even if they were celestial or infernal in nature originally. They could be sealed in the Abyss. It is kind of like a prison. A prison of chaos and destruction. But that's all you know. Anyways.
Well, I've never really thought about it. I've mostly dealt with undead, and I don't suppose those come from the Abyss. Though, I guess in a more spiritual sense, I've gone through a bit of a metamorphosis in terms of belief. So I guess those in the Abyss who truly seek to have a second chance, I would allow them. I would give them the opportunity. Though I guess in general, things sealed in the Abyss are probably there for a good reason. Fiends in general, I'm pretty neutral towards.
I'm glad to hear we're of similar mind.
Oh, that's wonderful to be around such a like-minded person. I've traveled with recently, not Sir Ryan Farrow. That's a different matter. I traveled with a band of adventurers who seemed so hell-bent on eradication. I'm not sure if they were super open to the idea of giving perhaps a villain a second chance if they so truly wished for one. But I'm unsure. I only spent like a couple days with them,
Well,
so this is refreshing.
there is penance, is there not? To be condemned to a life of sin, and to be risen again to achieve a sort of forgiveness. I am uncertain if the eyes of the gods cast upon them another judgment, but it's a nice thought. It makes it much easier when conjuring such spirits to my aid.
Oh, that's wonderful. I guess. Oh.
To be more frank with you, I intend to bind a demon.
Wow.
I
That's quite a
also,
tall order.
well, I had you purchase the materials.
Oh, a familiar. One of our companions had one of those. I'm pretty sure.
Not a familiar.
Domino, if you're gonna cast a Summer Greater Demon, by the way, you need the Vial of Blood, just so you're aware.
I'm aware.
Okay, good.
So,
Yeah.
I am glad to hear there will be no abject objection.
I won't object, and if the demon decides to fight, know that I will defend you.
Oh, there will be no need for that. You see, conjurers are a clever folk. They have developed certain techniques for containing such monstrous things. In fact, there was a wizard, one of reasonable power, who as of late has begun employing such tactics. He lives far to the north of Durath, the country from whence we travelled. The Castellan, he's called.
Lore drop.
Oh shit!
Oh, now.
Womp womp.
There have been examples of people binding fiends, the devilish kind, but such was a rarity nowadays. Still, he employed the techniques and bound a barbed devil.
And you wish to do the same?
Well,
But
not with the devil. Of course, I may yet employ such tactics myself later on, but I find one of a more brutish intelligence may yet be easier to control. You see, that's why people don't go binding devils. They can think, and they can hold grudges for far longer than something's a demon.
well, hopefully they're not beyond a little conversation. I suppose a third member to our little merry band wouldn't be bad. Besides Bartholomew, of course. Hey, and I pet my goat.
Spit is just flying everywhere.
He seems quite the conversationalist.
Oh, he has telepathy. He's quite the conversationalist.
Yeah, in your mind you hear, "My good Sir Theolyn, are you sure about this? Demons are chaotic, powerful as they may be, destructive forces of nature. It would be unwise to go ruling about with them without a proper strategy."
You are right as always, my noble steed Bartholomew. I will find some truly delectable carrots for you to feed on later.
He raises up both fists and pounds his chest. You hear in your mind, "Alright, go ahead and summon a demon."
Well, did I hear any of this?
No, you just saw Theolyn talking to himself.
Don't worry, I'm not crazy. It was telepathy. We ate from a magical fruit from an ancient willow tree.
I suppose stranger things have happened.
All
Well,
right. If you're going to summon this demon, we should probably get out of the area. I wouldn't want to summon one so close to a town.
oh, no, not quite yet. You see,
Oh,
I do require the blood of a recently deceased, but I don't plan on taking some innocent life. There are peoples out there who have soured their chance at heaven. I would take theirs for this process. It's sort of dim in arbitrary sacrifice, but if one is to be killed for my purposes, I would rather it be one who deserves.
I see.
So as you guys stand in the middle of this area, a bit of wind brushing past the small fields of a bit of, how should I say, vegetation here at the bottom of this large mountainous hill. An air of silence hits you both as the sun at this point has risen above. What are you doing?
I think Theolyn will hop on the back of Bartholomew, kind of hoist Tosk along with him, and then travel to where Sypha is.
Okay.
God bless.
So as you begin to travel through the mountainous and valley-scaped area known as the Angelic Aeilands, are you guys able to keep going a bit longer?
Yeah, I can.
Bro, I'm good to go a while.
Okay. I was just wondering because I was going to either end it or keep going if you guys wanted to. So, as you keep going, I would like a D100 roll, Basilius, for the first day of travel, as you guys can go ahead and role play as you begin to crest the tops of mountains and dive to the deeps of valleys as rivers begin to rush by you. The windscaped topography hitting you. As you blow through, it sounds like a natural instrument created by these valleys and large hills as you pass by them. Small holes, the wind creating small kind of flutes and piccolo kind of sounds to it, as bits of metal and long-forgotten villages seem to be present in the distance.
Okay, so I got the funny number.
You got
I
69?
rolled it in chat. Yeah, I rolled it in chat, so you can see it.
Okay. As you guys begin to crest about nearing the end of your day, I would say, you see in the distance, a bit southwards, but veering off of the path you would travel, but continuing forward, you see this large valley that expands downwards, and in it are large wooden houses with a bit of smoke pouring up from them, a few lights on in the village itself. It doesn't seem to be too wide of a village. And what you can see from this distance, because of your passive perceptions, the village itself does not seem to have any large-scaled buildings. It seems to be a small town/village, and it seems to be built into the ecosystem here and has been grown over multiple times, leading you to believe that it is very old and well-maintained and kept, and it seems to be part of the surrounding valley itself, rather than being forcefully industrialized. It seems to act as one with the valley. You could see, however, cascading behind it, covered in the mist that rolls down into the valley as night is starting to pour in, with the purples and yellows and oranges of sunset beginning to disappear as it's a few miles off, is this cascading shadow of a monolithic, gigantic, titanic mountain behind it to its south. You can see it stretches up past the clouds themselves. And you can see You could see many large ridges and broken points to it that almost look like there was a battlefield of cataclysmic proportions upon this mountain in some time in the very large past, and you could barely even make them out from this distance. But you can see that. And that's off your path. If you continue east, you would go past this village without, it would be like a mile or so south of you if you continued east. But it is the only, you've passed a few villages and whatnot, gathered up on supplies. I would say this is probably a day's worth of travel. Actually, no, you wouldn't have passed any villages at the moment. This is probably the biggest village you've seen. There may be a few small places, but nothing you could get supplies from. If you were to start running out on supplies, you could gather some here, or you could continue past if you wanted to. But go ahead and roleplay and continue.
There's a little town down there.
How strange. People taking to the hardships of such harsh and hostile lands. They could choose to move somewhere else, somewhere easier and more verdant, yet here they remain amongst the ruins.
I apologize. The valley itself does have a lot of vegetation, because there's a lot of vegetation in these lands, and there is a river moving through the valley as well, so it's pretty livable here, but continue.
I mean, the land itself is sure sustainable, but so isolated.
Perhaps this large mountain holds some sort of religious significance. It is probably the largest mountain I've ever seen. Though I've heard there's a taller one in Ursulum.
But does that
Or
excuse the ignorance of their selective isolation?
Is it ignorance or is it choice? It could be something they decided upon. It doesn't have to be a choice made out of unknown factor.
Domino, if you would like to, as he brings up the maybe important religious or lore-based things, make me a history check if you don't mind.
On it, boss.
Because you are a wizard, and they are pretty fucking lore-based. And I would say make a religion check, Basilius, because you've been past this mountain before. You might have seen it once or twice.
Yeah, I got a plus 10 to religion.
Alright, that is a 20 on history.
20 on history?
I
Okay.
got a 24 on religion.
Domino, you recognize this mountain. It's called Skybreaker Mountain. It is... In ancient history, it's believed to be part of the last standing relics of the first of the wars of the First Age, aside from Dresmosnia, which is the Demon Lord's continent. It still is believed to be a scar from that one of those cataclysmic battles, and it's believed that it was used to seal an ancient creature, and its lore itself is very strange. You haven't really read up much more about it. You've only heard that on passing. It was used to seal something, is what people believe, and that it is a cataclysmic scar from a long, long ago, like billions of years ago, that still exists. You, Basilius, or sorry, Theolyn, with your 24, know that it has no religious significance to most places. However, you do know that the town that resides under it, Domino would know something else. I'll get to that later. But the town underneath it is not religious, and there have been many talks upon the people who exist here on the Aeilands, of many towns and whatnot and small fiefdoms that do not believe in any of the religions that are present, or don't worship any of the deities that are present in the pantheons, and cause some strife with some of the bigger religions, and sometimes hostile land takeovers are done. You do recall there was mention of a priestess of a faith you can't recall at the moment. Maybe Dovin, you're not sure. That came here 70 to 120 years ago, you're unsure. Domino, as his character's starting to say that, and starting to recite some of those words and his knowledge on it, or I don't know if he would or not.
I'll do that.
Alright, as he does, you start to recall the tale of Zarius the Sky Slasher, and his journey to Skybreaker Mountain, where he destroyed the Keeper of the Skies, or wounded it heavily, to gain the dragon's blood necessary to revive a fallen priestess of a high-ranking deity. But that's all you know about that.
I do not say ignorance in ignorance. These are a very willful people. I don't fear. I doubtless fear erudition is not a priority.
I'm gonna pretend like I understood what you said, Task, and I would raise. If we are running low on supplies, we might be able to restock here. Alternatively, we can keep our way to Sypha, or, if we're both curious enough, I can ask Bartholomew to scale the mountain.
Let's see.
I will
We're
remind.
on the.
Before we continue, I will remind you the hills here. The mountain is kind of hills that you're on that like dip and dive into valleys and then continue on to other hills. They're probably thousands of feet tall. If you recall, I've mentioned this a few times. Cloud limit is thousands of miles, hundreds of thousands of miles. So this is a monolithic size. Which you've only seen one other like set of mountains in this similarity, which is the Tri-Spire Mountains. But this one is very strange. Continue, Domino, your question.
Right. Yes. We're on one side of the valley, right?
Yes, you're overlooking this like caldea, this cauldron of a valley. You're on the you're on the northern side of it, basically.
And we can see the other side from here, correct?
There's a bit of mist and a bit of fog, but yes.
I cast teleport.
Where are you teleporting to?
The other side of the mountain, of the valley, I guess. Fuck.
So the base of the mountain, then? Or do you want to go into the town? Because the town is like probably 500, 600 feet to maybe a mile at the base of the mountain. The mountain seems to burst up out of the valleys like very southern walls. So you can teleport to the mountain, to the town, anywhere else in the valley.
Is it at all possible to teleport like somewhere a little higher up on the mountain itself?
Oh, you could do so. Yeah, make me just a perception check to see if you can make out an intricate area of the mountain that would look safe.
I'm gonna give the help
God,
action.
All right. Well, thank God I'm a tabaxi. All right. That is with the help action advantage, 28.
28. DC was 26, so you're lucky. As you look over, you find a small, like, ledge that looks like three claws coming up and going back towards the mountains before they break off. And you're like, that looks safe. And as you teleport, you, Bartholomew, and Theolyn land in this small little cradled plateau. And as you look around, you couldn't see it because you were so far off and the light is beginning to dissipate. This claw-like shape, which you could barely make out at that distance, is actually the structured ribcage of a creature that's been sedimented into the rock.
Oh.
And each of these rib cages is about 200 feet tall. Each of these ribs.
We're just on the skeleton of a dead being.
Well, the skeleton seems to go into the actual rock, so you're on the rock that's sedimented around the skeleton, but yes.
Yeah.
Alright.
It doesn't seem like this beast makes up the entire mountain, but it seems like this chunk right here that you've teleported onto, because the mountain is probably 10 miles radius. And it gets way thinner as it goes up.
Just, by the way, Schmuck, I do have a permanent detect magic up. Is there anything going on here?
As you've been traveling through the Aeilands, you've detected it a bit. There seems to be like a hint of, what is it called? In Durath, you could feel primal magic. Here, you could feel divine magic to an extent. It seems like a shift. Like they each have their own kind of feel of magic. As you teleport, the mountain itself nearly destroys your senses, as the mountain seems to have a heavy primal and divine mixture of magic to it. It seems to have abjuration and conjuration subsects of magic to it. And it is this intricate weave as you stare up at it. It almost has like these lines, like when you look at a circuit board, you know, the lines that connect to different points of it. It almost has these straight lines that create this intricate weave of thousands of spells on the rock face itself. And they go up the entire mountain. You can't even make out what this spell might be. It definitely seems maybe sealing. You're unsure 100%, but this is not the work of mortal men, or maybe it is from the first age. You're unsure. Also, from the skeleton, you do feel a little bit of... No, you wouldn't feel any magic from the skeleton, sorry. But the air itself does hold a pressure here of magical intent.
We stand here upon the fated tomb. Delightfully unnerving.
What's your passive perception?
19.
19. As you do look around, you do see what seems to be a few skeletal like skeletons that are just heavily calcified or merged with the stone here in this skeleton as well. And it seems like one of them has a single ring, a golden band on it that seems to be glowing with abjuration magic.
Fuck it, let's snag that bitch.
Alright, you grab it. As you pull it off, the bone finger snaps, but nothing else.
The man crumbles.
Like, he sends out a little mage hand from Theolyn's back, like the little fucking strings tied to his fingers, kind of forming this sort of thin, wispy, almost skeletal hand. So it just gently plucks it off and slowly carries it back to Tosk himself.
Alright, you grab this beautiful ring, and as you look towards it, what languages do you speak?
Oh, shit. I have Common, Primordial, Abyssal, Draconic, and... Fuck, it's on my character sheet. Sylvan! I need to pick up Celestial at some point.
I have Celestial.
As you look towards this ring, this beautiful golden band seems to shimmer as the moonlight strikes towards it, as it is already get to night now. And you can see underneath it, there's this beautiful bluish-green font on this writing. Hello?
You cut out.
We heard beautiful.
The moonlight shimmers across it, and you can see this beautiful writing that seems to span the outside and inside. It seems to curve and spiral in on both of them. It seems to be two sets of writing that seem to intermingle with each other. One in this moonlight glows a small, dim, golden color. The other seems to shine a small, dim, greenish-blue color. Basilius, you do recognize it as... Well, sorry, Theolyn. As you look towards the ring, it is celestial.
Oh. I can read it. It's celestial and what was the etymology? I'll try and read it.
As you begin to focus on the ring, make me a perception check.
+7. Give me the help action. That is a dirty 20.
As you stare at it, the writing seems to shift and move, and you can't really make out words besides protection, magic. This is ancient celestial as well, and you can't really make it out that well. But you know that it is protective enchant of some kind.
Identify.
Mind you, the ring itself is probably as big as, like, your arm, Tosk.
Oh, well.
It's like a bracelet to you, specifically, but it was on a ring of a large finger. You cast Identify?
I do.
Let me get the name here. This is... Marianne Silverhand's Ring of Magical Protection. Marianne is spelled M-E-A-R-I-A-N. Marianne. And It's not a common name. Marianne Silverhands, Ring of Magical Protection. Domino, as you begin to look into this, this item, while attuned by a spellcaster, grants the creature... Well, not even by a spellcaster, sorry. While attuned by a creature, grants the creature magic resistance, which means whenever they roll a saving throw...
You cut off at while attuned by.
While attuned by a creature and worn, this ring provides its wearer with magic resistance, which means they gain advantage on any saving throw made against spells or magical effects. Additionally, once per long rest, you may expel this magical resistance to completely negate an existing spell on you, or a spell that would now affect you as a reaction. So if you were to come under the effect of a spell, or you were to take damage from a spell, you could just negate that spell and get rid of your magic resistance until you finish a long rest. So for example, someone casts a 9th level fucking fireball on you, or a meteor swarm, let's say, you could just negate it against you specifically, so it would still hit your friends, but you would not take any damage from it. But you would also lose that magic resistance. It's basically, if that's going to kill you, like if you fail to disintegrate and you have like 10 health left, you want to use it, basically.
Epic.
Yeah.
Alright, well, that's mine now.
Yeah. So, Basilius, make sure you put in there, it still affects others if it's an AoE, just not you.
Still affects others, but not you if it's an AoE spell.
Anyways.
Example.
You find yourself here on this clutch of a terrace. Sedimented creature. Go ahead.
Wow. Your teleport spell. I'll never get used to it.
I'm sure in time. But for the present, that should have saved us a good few days. Now,
Well, that's teleporting off your track of journey, by the way.
where the fuck were we going there?
I said you were heading east and you're on the north side. The mountain is south. I made that clear 3 times.
Well, we can scale the mountain if you want.
Okay, well, I mean, it's a valley, right?
Yes.
So, could one not have insinuated that I would teleport to the side that we were heading?
Well, I asked and you said you said on the mountain, so I was like, okay.
I mean, if it's a valley, there's a mountain on every side.
Yes, but the one large landmark. So you could. I thought you wanted to go to the mountain because you didn't specify in the direction we're traveling, specifically. So
This is not a mistake. It's a happy accident. We can scale the mountain if you want, just to make it so we have something to do.
Okay.
that was some large miscommunication. I apologize.
Yeah, the whole point of casting the spell was to expedite the travel time.
Yeah. I apologize. That was some miscommunication on both our parts, so... Okay. So, but you are now here on the sky, what's it called?
Skybreaker.
The Skybreaker, yeah.
Okay.
This might not be where we
So I
intended to
will
go,
say,
but
it did save you a little bit of time, even though you're off track, because you weren't directly north of this. You were, like, northwest of the valley, but this would be directly southeast, so you did save about 2 days' journey eastwards. Not even 2 days, like, maybe about half a day's journey eastwards, because that's how big the valley is, but you now have to move northwards again, as well. So you can move northeast, but you did save a little bit of time. Just not as much as you were hoping, unfortunately.
Whatever. We're on top of a really big mountain.
Not on top. It's beyond
We
cloud
are...
level.
Okay, yeah, that's... The point being, we are very high up. I have a good field of vision for another teleport tomorrow.
Yes.
do you want to camp here?
That would be wise. Here, allow me. I'm going to cast Galder's Tower.
What?
If you would like to describe the spell.
All right.
You don't have to read the spell. I mean, describe what it looks like.
Right, yeah. The little hanging black threads on his fingers begin to whip wildly in the wind. And slowly, as they do, a sort of white glow begins to outline their dark and wispy figure. Soon, in that billowing mass, they seem to almost multiply. What was once now threefold, then 6, 9, 18, and so forth. This great, wretched mass of black and white, this blinding whirl, then leaves behind, in the billowing snow, the fresh fallen mountain, a large, round, cobbled tower. Cozy and droopy, almost hanging in some places. One might even fear total collapse, but the presence of magic assures otherwise.
Wow. This is much better than setting up a tent.
I concur. Well,
Is there room for Bartholomew? or must I desummon him for now?
there is a sitting room. He may do as he pleases in there. A washroom and a bedroom.
Awesome. Bartholomew, inside.
Bartholomew is just staring up the mountain as you say that. You can see a look of worry and concern on his face. Before he looks back to you.
Telepathically. Bartholomew, what's wrong? Is there something up there?
I believe I saw fire. This mountain does not bode well either. I sense something dangerous in its presence. Multiple things dangerous. We should not stay long.
We'll stay the night and leave tomorrow.
As you ask Fire, he looks back up and make me a perception check, please.
Oh. Plus, what's my perception bonus? 7? 22.
You can see just above a lip, there seems to be the smallest entrance to a cave you could see, and you could see a single torch or a source of fire. You're not sure. It seems to be licking up off the ground and starting to ember out and burn out, but it's about 250 feet above you.
And it's a torch?
It seems like it may be, because it doesn't seem like a campfire. It seems to flicker out and it comes from a single source rather than a large source.
Husk. There's fire above us, 250 feet. Like it's from a torch.
I see. Does this concern you?
It concerns Bartholomew and also me. This is a rather large mountain. For a fire to be lit from a torch-like source requires some sapient intervention.
Very well. I shall identify it. I'm going to cast Arcane Eye and create essentially an invisible floating camera, and I'm going to have it begin floating up towards this flickering flame.
It starts to climb up the mountain as you sit down for a second on your lawn chair, sipping some tea.
Arnold Palmer, we have class.
Okay, of course. I apologize. As you look towards Theolyn, who just seems to be a bit on guard, and you can see Bartholomew is staring around the camp now, starting to make passes. The eye crests over, and you can see at the edge, just barely about 2 feet from it, a torch dropped, recently lit because it's starting to ember out at the moment. Make a perception check for me, if you don't mind, Tosk.
Alrighty.
Come on!
That is a 27.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry, 26. 26, my mistake.
Okay, you failed. No. You see a small plateau appear. that seems to small, what is it called, balcony, a natural balcony here that seems to round the entrance to this cave with a small like trail of fallen rocks that seem to have been smoothed over recently, just by the looks of it. They haven't been weathered much, is why you can tell. And you can see here the dust is displaced heavily. You can see footmarks of humanoid and non-humanoid, and there seems to have been a scuffle. As you see that torch is lying on the ground, you can see elements of a broken sword, a few other pieces of like a backpack or two. You could see just a severed hand that's just on the ground as well, above. You could also see scorch marks that seem to exist on the outer walls of the cavern entrance. You could also see a large blood trail that's being pulled into the cavern.
Well, the arcane eye has no limit on distance. I can concentrate on it for up to an hour, and it's completely fucking invisible, so I'm gonna go into the cave. It also has dark vision.
As the arcane eye begins to push through the cave, you can see it gets smaller and wider at spaces, and you can see there has definitely been people running through here. You can see just relaxed walked footprints into the cave, on guard a little bit, you could tell just by the movements of them. And then there's about, I'd say, you see 6-7 footprints entering in, and then 2-3 get to about 200 feet from the cave entrance before there's just blood on the walls around that area, and then 1 footprint is just rushing out as well. Those 3 were rushing in a different direction, which is why you could tell, but then there's only 1 footprint, there's only 1 set of footprints actually exiting the cave, which is what you assume probably the person who had the torch before they got. Continuing through, there seems to be an opening into a small chamber. You can see the chamber itself rounds a bit. It seems to have a small low-hanging ceiling with a bunch of stalagmites and stalactites coming up as well. And you can see there's a few water basins here with water falling off into smaller pools at the base here. What's the AC of your orb?
It doesn't have one. It is completely intangible and invisible.
Okay. You can see multiple bodies just charred and laid around. A few of them that are just torn into by large claws, it would seem. And you could just see them. You could just see like 3-4 of them here, and you could see 3 other bodies have been pulled to the center pool.
I think he cut out again.
Hello.
Hi.
What did you last hear? Because Discord's being fucking retarded.
The scorch marks and the bodies in the cave.
The scorch marks are all around the cave as well as they're also hitting the body. There is a little bit of light here reflected by the moonlight that seems to come in by small little like bits of shining stone. But you can see all 7 bodies seem to be present in the cave itself. The 3 most recent ones seemingly dragged back in are in the central pond of this cave. They are not floating, they are on a small island of stone that's been broken and molded over time, it seems. Make me another perception check.
Alright, come on. Lucky dice.
Theolyn, roll me a D100.
Oh. Okay. Can I get the funny number again?
That was
no,
a
but I got
20.
close.
That was a 23.
23.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a 65.
You can see a small horde of treasures. You can see broken pieces, long skeletal bodies. This is definitely a creature's lair, and it definitely hunts from here. You can also see on the opposite side, near one of these pools of water, there is a large and probably long ago collapsed tunnel that seems to just be rubble piling over the other side. And what'd you roll, Theolyn?
65.
Okay. That's all you could see in this cave.
Oh.
Theolyn, what's your passive perception?
Mine?
Yeah.
17.
17. Actually, you rolled a 20 what, Domino?
23.
I'd say that's high enough. You could see what seems like... You're not sure what they are, but they seem to be broken, shaled pieces of something rounded. You're unsure 100% what they are. You would have to definitely investigate further. And there's some strange liquid on the ground near those.
There is a lair nearby. Hunters had attempted to rid it of its denizen and failed miserably. The sputtering smoke was the torch of the last remaining. Whatever resides in there hosts a great deal of treasure. We are presented with a choice.
I will say this, Tosk. The fact that the torch is still lit means definitely no more than 12 hours.
We are presented with a choice. We can bide our time, stay here this night, and pray it does not come for us. Or we may kill it whilst it recovers.
How are you looking magical power-wise? Are you fine? And I say this kind of asking, are you good on spell slots?
I have plenty of energy yet remaining. The greatest of my reserves is drained, sure, but I've plenty of fight left.
My main concern is
You
that
said
this
19 was your passive perception, Domino?
Indeed.
Okay, continue.
I say this because that town down there, I didn't see, from my vantage point, people. I'm unsure if they're simply just weren't around or if they're scared of this creature that denizens of the mountain. It may be prudent to
Tosk, as
rid...
he's saying this, a rock from above skitters down the side. You look up
Okay.
and don't see anything.
Bullshit. Let's see.
All right. So like kind of as you're speaking, Tosk is just going to wordlessly clamp to the side of the tower and begin to scale its height.
Alright, you begin to scale its height. Theolyn,
Yeah.
as you see him like scurry up, you start to look towards the ridge. Make me a perception check.
25.
25. There's definitely some movement up there, but you can't tell exactly where. You can see something darting between the shadows, but you can't make out its
I have a
location.
question.
Yeah?
I have an Eldritch Invocation Devil Sight. I can see normally in darkness, both magical
Yes.
and non-magical,
Yes,
to a
but this
distance
is-
of 120
This
feet.
is
I don't know if that
250
helps.
feet above you.
It's how much feet?
250 feet.
Okay.
You could only see the shadows because that torch has now sputtered out, but you could see the shadows reflected by moonlight, and you can't really make out a distinct direction. Well, you can make out direction, but you can't make out its direct location. You can definitely see something moving. And then you see lightning spark across the rocks for a second. Tosk, as you get to the top of the tower, what are you doing?
All right. Mostly just trying to find the fucking bastard.
Make me a perception check.
All right. Lucky dice. Natural 20, 29.
As you look up, you don't see it at first. But then the moonlight reflects off it just barely, and you could see the scaled hide of a blue, snake-like creature, but with multiple legs. You could see horns curling off its top. The draconic creature, its mouth open, staring down, lightning striking off of its sides as its glistening body seems to sweat liquid lightning itself hitting the ground. As it stares downwards towards Theolyn, you can see its left blue eye is just sparking continuously. I'd like you to make an Arcana check for me, if you don't mind.
Right. It's I know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I personally
don't.
know what it is. I love these
personally don't.
things. They're so funny.
I have
All right,
no idea what they are.
23.
You've only heard of this in books. You haven't seen them before. You've only seen illustrations. As you look up towards the currently hunting, it seems, your party, and it's gonna make a perception check to see if it sees you. Nope, natural one. Currently hunting, and scars that seem to have healed over from its last fights. You notice up here that it seems to clamber against the stones above. It seems to skitter down the stones a bit further and further, and it seems to be making its way towards Theolyn, who seems to know there's something there, pulling out his sword, but you can't actually make it out its general location as it's moving very fast down towards him. What are you doing?
Alright. I'm going to cast a spell, said every wizard ever.
Really? I didn't expect that.
I have just the contingency. Precisely the tool for this occasion.
Okay.
I am going to conjure an elemental. An air elemental.
Okay.
Air elementals have a 90-foot hover speed and immunity to lightning damage.
Okay.
Sorry, resistance. It's not quite that cool.
Describe the spell as you begin to summon this creature as it's getting just down to Theolyn. Like, it jumps down in Theolyn. This creature is standing 15, 17 feet tall, even on its, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, even on its 12 hind legs. Seems to reach up with its 2 front legs, its claws, and it seems to stare down at you. As you summon your elemental, go ahead and describe it.
Alright. And Theolyn, sort of beginning to envelop you, the cold winter air begins to whip and whistle, and this sort of snowy cyclone begins to stretch from your feet all the way up, enveloping the whole of your body. Embedded deep within this cyclone, however, you can make out thin little black lines sort of dancing in the wind. This little signature grants you a sort of hope, a satisfaction even. You know exactly what's happening. And sure enough, from the rooftop of that tall tower, wiggling his little fingers, Tosk.
I would like the both of you to roll initiative for me.
Alright.
And the creature who technically did ambush you, Theolyn, because it didn't roll high enough to pincer its location fully, does get its advantage, unfortunately.
Oh, womp.
That is a 22 on its initiative. Uh-oh.
Alright. The air elemental gets its own initiative. I'll control its turns if that's alright.
You can do it right after your turn if you wanted to, just to make it better.
Okay.
Okay.
By advantage, do you mean it had advantage on initiative, or it has a surprise round?
On initiative, specifically. Because one of your party, you were aware of it, it does not get surprise round.
Okay, thank
surprise, fun fact, is actually a condition that one can have immunity to. In this situation, the only one who could have that condition is Theolyn.
Mm-hmm. So,
if
Tusk,
you want.
What did you roll, little strange creature?
22.
What is your dexterity?
My dex is +4.
You go before the creature, Jesus.
Alright.
It rolled a 22 as well, but it has a +3.
Theolyn once again goes last with a crisp 7.
So, this is a very unfortunate scenario. As a fun fact, I have exactly 2 dedicated damage spells. They are Lightning Bolt and Chain Lightning. You may or may not have insinuated from this creature that it is pretty solid against those particular damage types.
You definitely would know. Like, this creature may have been actually the reason why your character was like, that's interesting, let's learn those spells, you know? Just to, like, because it's an interesting, powerful-looking creature. People will respect me if I know these spells. Oh, fuck, to be here.
Unfortunately, I'm a scribe's wizard, and I don't happen to count Disintegrate purely as a damage spell. So, I cast Chain Lightning.
What? Why?
Okay.
You'll see.
How tall is the tower?
Fuck. Let's see here. Chain Lightning has a 150-foot range, if that's any help.
Yeah,
but...
that's fine. Yeah, you'll hit him.
Okay.
I'd say he's about 100 feet from you, at most.
Yeah, the tower itself is about 10 feet tall.
Okay.
So, with that in mind, it's not 10 feet, fuck, 30 feet tall. My mistake.
Okay.
Anyways, I will need a, let's see here,
Okay.
dexterity saving throw.
Sure. Okay. Sure. Oh, that's pretty high. That would be 21.
Try again.
What?
I'm going to use my 2 fucking metamagic adept feats and my cumulative number of sorcery points that lets me do this to empower the spell. Fuck you, die.
Doesn't empower mean you get to reroll your dice on the damage?
Wait, no, heightened. That's right.
Yeah. I was about to say. 19.
Oh. Oh
They
dear.
rolled an 18 and then a 16. I'm not fucking with you.
Let's see here. I'm trying to fucking recall. God damn it! I can't remember for shit. What the fuck is my phone? Okay, you know what? Whatever. Hold on. I have my pewter right here. I can look up the item. Wand of the War Mage.
Yeah, access are +1.
Aha! Get it! Loser, my DC is 20!
Okay.
Alright, well, it fails. So, here's the fun part. I'm a scribe's wizard.
Mhm.
That means I can slot out damage types
Oh, you
for
bitch.
spells that I have of, adjacent levels.
Mhm.
So, 10d8 force damage.
Jesus Christ.
Fuck you.
Welcome to Wizard, my friend.
I play one wizard, and I can't even play its subclass because I know Goblin hates summoning shit. So my Necromancer is more of a utility boy.
It's just about expediency, in all honesty. Anyways, I did, however, roll dog shit on the damage, so that's only 34 as opposed to the average of 45, but hey,
Damn,
cool.
okay. Let me get a calculator open, because I didn't expect this to be an actual roll. Here, give me a second. So I was like, he's immune to lightning. Oh shit.
I have more spell slots, Smile.
Oh, who knows? Maybe this thing is vulnerable to force damage.
Okay, how much damage did you do?
Shit. I did 34 points of force. I kind of
So,
sunk a lot into this spell. I'm kind of sad at that.
Yeah, I know, right? If you'd like to describe the spell for me as it hits the creature.
Alright, so, shit. As Toss begins to raise his fingers once more, the interweaving threads beginning to, in the air in front of him, form this complex sigil. You watch as this crackling blue energy begins to form, but as the weaving threads begin to interact with it, that sort of faint beige-white glow, so signature of his magic, begins to take hold, and sure enough, what was once crackling electricity, still holding that same signature shape, begins to sing a different tune, quite literally. This blast of raw, arcane energy, colored to the hue of his signature magic, begins to arc into the creature as its very body begins to sort of vibrate and almost unravel. The meats and sinew, almost as a fraying blanket, begins to collapse into the snow.
Do any of you speak Draconic?
I do.
The creature lets out a roar. This male Bahir here seems to let out a roar. I will eat you like the last that came, you stupid, worthless mortals. You will fill my belly.
You're so cute.
You don't speak Draconic, do you?
No.
I don't.
Yeah.
Theolyn. Sorry, well, that was not his voice. Theolyn.
Ask.
Let it live. Fight it as you must, but do not kill it. Alright, well, Tosk is going to end his turn. It's air elemental time.
What's your elemental's name?
What?
What's its name?
Oh shit, this thing does have intelligence. It can...
It's formed of winter winds. You could name it Aurora, like the Aurora Borealis.
Hmm.
If you do, I'm giving this creature more health.
Hold on. Let's see here. Give me a moment to think hard. There's a fucking goddamn it. There's a poem, but I can't remember it. You fucker.
Is it the Jack Frost one?
No, it's I genuinely do not recall.
Do you remember a line from the poem?
Fucking. I do have the line written down. Oh, great googly moogly. There it is. And there we go. When winter comes, can spring be far behind?
No, spring
Ode
must...
to the West Wind.
That's it.
You're welcome.
All right. This is him then.
You know what's funny? I live in the West, and my last name is Winter, so... Ode to the West Wind.
Maybe the true ode to the West Wind was the goblin we made along the way.
Oh my god. All right. Well, here he is then. Westerly.
Westerly?
Westerly. The West Wind.
Okay. Sure. So what's Westerly doing? He's within 5 feet of the creature.
All right. He's gonna shake things up. So, he's gonna wiggle forward and leave your space, Theolyn,
Oh.
and move into the creatures.
Okay.
So, as he gets there, yeah, no, he's just gonna make some slam attacks.
Yeah, he can't really do that because I think I think the Bahir is bigger. Correct?
What's the Bahir size category?
Huge.
Well, and then I mean, the air elemental is air, so it explicitly can exist in other creatures' spaces.
Yeah. I'm just seeing if there's a size category or whatnot. No, it is not.
Yeah.
That's fucking strange.
What?
It doesn't have a size. It could fucking like whirlwind a fucking Trask. Then how does that fucking work?
No. The air elemental is only large. If you're thinking of whirlwind,
Yeah.
yeah, no.
That's fucking crazy, huh? That's crazy, huh?
I mean,
It's pretty neat.
It's only DC 13, but I
That's
wasn't
true.
going to use that anyway.
Yeah.
Let's
Anyway,
be
so-
entirely honest. It's
so
going
is
to
it-
succeed on that shit.
As Westerly steps forward, sending 2 strikes towards the creature. Go ahead, make your attack rolls.
All right, that
And
is
you have
a...
advantage because you are technically flanking with Theolyn, because you are both harrying at the moment.
All right. That is a... Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
Nat 20?
No. 227s.
27.
Non-natural 20s.
Those are both crits.
Synchronicity.
Because they are 10 above its AC.
All right. Go Westerly. Now that's how you make a debut. All right.
Will Westerly become the new Bartholomew?
Watch out, Bartholomew.
Does Bartholomew have it in it?
Sure, I'll roll for Bartholomew.
Fuck yeah.
Get him in here.
He rolled higher than you.
Yeah, Bartholomew.
Oh dear lord. Okay, the elemental rolls much better than I did and does a total of 56 damage.
Give
What
me one
type?
second. Bartholomew rolled an 8. Sorry,
But
yeah.
he rolled one higher than
What
me.
type of damage?
Bludgeoning.
All right. So as the creature, is that from both hits or one hit?
This is from both hits.
Okay, so as the creature slams twice into it, you watch as the Behir strikes backwards and its slimy skins. You see what scales exist below it seem to slaw off as they break. It takes half the damage from one of those strikes. So,
Is it normally 2d8?
what is
Yeah, so that would be
11,
Oh
16.
shit, you know what I totally fucking forgot? I fucked up that damage roll.
it? Okay, re-roll then.
Alright.
The first, roll them separately because it'll take the first one and negate. Just turn.
All
Just
right.
have it. Yeah.
2. Right, and 4. Be 2d8 plus 5. 2. Okay, there we go.
So 30
Higher.
reduced to 15 again. Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so that's
So 15 plus 38, that is what, 53?
Yeah.
think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 53. So, as you strike twice into it, the creature seems to step backwards a little bit, and you hear in Draconic, I will rip you from your mortal coils. I will use your hands. I am... Hold on, I forgot the fucking name of this creature, sorry. 1 second.
Behor.
Behor.
I am the one who sparks in the night. And the creature punches him in the jaw before he could finish. Does that end the air elemental's turn?
It sure does.
All right. The
He's
Behir's
just
turn.
wiggling and whooshing.
The spark in the night seems to stare towards the creature and just stares towards Theolyn as well. Let's see here. Theolyn and Air Elemental Westerly, roll me just both of you roll me a d20. Whoever gets higher, it's gonna attack.
Well, hopefully I don't roll high. I got a 9.
And get fucked.
As Westerly is attacking it, it seems to look towards Westerly, and it steps out of its space. I'm gonna roll intelligence check here. Yeah, it rolled high enough. And it's going to... It opens its jaw and unhinges like a snake as lightning pours out. It doesn't pour out like a ray. It seems to move out like fingers moving and grasping at the area around it, striking out towards as this breath of lightning stretches out and pierces towards both you and Westerly Theolyn. I need both, actually, and Bartholomew, who would be in a line too. I need all three of you to make dex saves.
We all have a +5 thanks to my aura.
Okay. Bartholomew
right.
immediately takes no damage. He rolled a nat 20.
Fuck yeah! Yeah, Bartholomew!
Oh, good fucking lord. What is this guy on? You summoned
Bartholomew-
one air
Oh,
elemental.
because
That's a
he's the ram.
29.
He's the goat, except the ram.
We got the goat and the
29
ram.
is a crit success, so he takes quarter damage.
I
Theolyn,
got a 23.
23. You succeed, so you take half damage. So, I'll roll this, and if I get below average, I will use average. That is above average, I believe. Yep. Let's see here. That would be
Effectively 35 damage if you
35 damage to you. No damage to him. And Westerly takes 35 reduced down to, again, let's see here, 35 reduced to 17. Reduced, I believe, because he's resistant to lightning, right?
Correct.
Down to 8.
Yeah, no. Westerly's chilling. Big chilling.
As his lightning climbs out of its mouth and strikes into Theolyn, who is the one who takes any damage here. Theolyn, your armor is burnt and singed. I do need you to roll a con save for your jacket.
So
So just roll a con save using your bonus.
okay. I have a +9. Is
Your
there...
charisma bonus applies to this as well, by the way.
Yeah, that's how I have the +9.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, wait, yeah, no. Paladins get wisdom and charisma.
Yeah, I always found that way up too, right?
Yeah, no,
I need to
paladins
get
are
grab
totally good
resilient,
constitution. What the hell?
The resilient feat would be great for Theolyn. I could put it in Constitution.
For real.
Theolyn, what do you roll?
Oh, that's rather good for me. What's 8 + 9 is 17. Add 10 to that, 27.
So, you critically succeed, so your
Thank God.
your magical item does not explode on you. I just
Thank
want
God.
to roll to see how much damage it would have done. What kind of item did I tell you? Did I tell you it was a legendary? Did I tell you it was a rare?
The coat?
Yeah, we'll just say it was a rare. So we'll go with.
I'm pretty sure it's very rare because it
Very
can
rare?
hold up to hold up to 500,000 pounds.
Yeah. You would have suffered 75 force damage from that, but you don't.
Oh, I would have lived, but damn, I would have been below half.
You would have made a con
definitely.
save for your body because that was exploding on you.
Yeah, I'll do that anyways.
Just
too,
roll
why
again. I want
not?
to see. Yeah, your arms would have exploded.
Not again.
Anyways.
No, my arms
So
again.
it strikes out, and you can see its smile start to form on its face. It suddenly goes down to a look of, oh shit, as you hear, in Draconic, you hear Tosk as, Die, mortal... Fuck.
My hair starts to run.
And it is going to, without disengaging, because it can't, immediately start to try and scurry back up, seemingly running away at this point. You guys get your tax opportunity if you want.
Me too?
Mm-hmm. Actually, no, because you haven't gone yet. I'll say, at this point, like, you get struck, and you haven't gone in initiative yet, so I'm going to say no, not on you. Like, at this point, you finally pulled out your sword, and he's already out of your range.
You motherfucker.
I'm not going to make an attack of opportunity.
Okay.
However, Tosk will call out to him in Draconic. A little over your head?
It hisses back at you before continuing towards its cavern as the encounter ends.
I'm going to cast Levitate and follow it.
You're going to follow it into its cavern?
Bartholomew!
Is that Westerly or you?
That's me. Westerly will come with, though.
Alright.
Actually, hold on. No Levitate, actually. Because that would get rid of Westerly. I'm just going to climb with my climb speed.
You don't have to. I can just get Bartholomew to take this.
It is a straight cliff. It is impossible to climb with Bartholomew. You could go up those staircases that you saw in the vision if you wanted to.
Yeah. I'll do that. I'll race after him.
You climb up to that, and you climb up the mountain, and you eventually get to the torch, which has gone out at this point. You do see some fresh blood that's muddled with the ash and kind of like... not ash, but the... ash with the torch. With the ash and the stone of the mountain itself. Probably unable to gain it from here, but if you wished to, you do know there's some corpses inside Tosk.
Yay!
But the creature is also inside. And as you begin to approach the cavern entrance, you could see those small little, like, gems or pieces of glass that you saw in the cavern itself seem to spark with lightning. And as you, like, just take like the torch for a second and throw it in, you watch lightning strikes it and just turns into ash.
All right.
There seems to be layer actions here.
Well, caves have this horrible, tedious tendency to carry sound absurd distances. Mm-hmm. And I'm not here to kill it.
Okay.
You are a poor and wretched thing, truly. To be hiding in your cave from such simple folk as we. Did you not have a legacy once? You call us mortals, as to imply you are otherwise. You must be very old. In age there is wisdom, in wisdom reason. I'd like to reason with you.
Make a persuasion check.
I'm going to take a page out of Tyrone's book.
God damn it.
What? This reference means nothing.
What kind of page?
Oh, you know, his classic maneuver of abstaining from any and all charisma-based rolls.
Unfortunately, you're not going to have anything happen if you don't make a persuasion check.
I'll just keep yapping.
Theolyn, do you jump in on this?
What, to reason with the beast?
Yes.
Oh, I'm there. Okay. I thought he beat me because he climbed and I had to go around to get to the staircase.
The staircase would have been faster, so you would have gotten there, like, as he was at the torch and he threw it in, and you would have heard this from a distance as you walked up.
Yeah, I mean, well, I can't talk in Draconic, but I wouldn't be able to understand this beast.
It's true. I'll say just roll... You can... I will say this. You can make a persuasion check with intellect if you want to instead. Intelligence.
All right.
Charisma.
15. 10 on the die, plain and simple.
+5. Good damn.
It takes a bit of reasoning, but eventually, after about, I'd say, 30 minutes, the lightning strikes as you just throw a rock in. Do not happen. And you get the sense that he's allowing you in if you want.
Alright. With my elemental right behind me, I'll calmly enter, hands folded behind my back, the little strings dragging on the rock behind me.
Okay.
I'll enter with Bartholomew as my emotional support pet.
Bartholomew cannot fit within this cave entrance.
Oh,
The air elemental can because it can change its shape. It is
True.
about a
Bartholomew.
good 3 foot wide cave entrance and about 7 foot tall.
Bartholomew, I'll be right back.
You hear in your mind, I shall watch the tower, my lord. Return
Thank you.
post haste.
Of course, I'll
Winds.
find some carrots in here.
The winds. Ooh, carrots. You guys manage to squeeze your way into the cave as it opens and closes and opens and closes. As you pass by, your footsteps being left in the sediment now instead. Eventually, coming to the large interior here. Your arcane eye now gone because it's concentration, right, Domino?
Oh yeah, no, that was down a while ago.
Okay, just making sure. As you enter in, you can see the rolling small platforms that seem to hold small bodies of water that pour in from a source long past this cave. You can hear the sounds of dripping of stone as it hits. You can smell the atmospheric smell. And you could see the burnt bodies. You could taste the seared flesh on your tongues as you enter. As you enter, you can see from that central area 2 glowing blue eyes as it just stares at you from the central pool, chewing on the bodies as you enter. And you hear... Well, you hear, Tosk. I allow you into my home, since you wish to speak with me. Do not... How should I say? Desecrate this place further than those fools had when they entered.
Unless there is desecration to be found in simple words, I promise you will find none from us.
I did mention it was about 30 minutes, so give me 1 second. Alright. It's just healing up some HP. Because it technically got a short rest. Anyways. So as it looks towards you, you may approach the edge of this lake, but no further. What is
Very
it
well.
you wish to speak? Child of cats.
I will be plain and objective. I could sit here and patronize you, weave you tales of your own glory, but I feel that inappropriate. Do you agree?
It would not be mine.
Very well. To be as earnest as I can. You have been bested. Presently, sure, we sit in a place of your own design, but as it stands, even when you have the advantage of surprise, we won with minimal effort.
At this point, your passive perception, Domino, picks up the smell of blood that's not coming from this area, but to the... It would be the east, because that's where you went south to enter into this cave, so east would be the direct direction of where you saw those strange shaled pieces on the ground with that liquid. And as you look to the east, you could see a large piece of this cavern that's broken, that seems to have stalactites and stalagmites covering it to almost act as like a prison almost, but with like a large hole in its center. You'd have to climb about 15 feet to get into it, and you could smell blood coming from there.
You said shaled?
Yeah, shaled pieces of something, but you can't really see into it, Theolyn. You would have to climb into it specifically.
Oh, but I know what shaled means.
Anyways, continue.
Middle school English class coming clutch.
Oh my god. I would not ask of you your home nor treasures, nor truthfully your respect. I command of you no tithes, but humble passage. Something I imagine you would likely have already granted given our performance outside. The reason I come before you to speak is to give an offer. You see, I fear Theolyn here is destined for great things, to make of himself a legend and build a legacy that will long outlast him. Your name, however, whilst etched in tomes much older than I, are, well,
Not mine. Continue.
not your.
Its head tilts and stares at you as you see like a flash of blue in its eyes. And what of you? Will your name be written in stone? Or will you fade to the darkness, child of blue?
No stone, but story, warped and distant as a name carved in wood. My memory will be conflated and altered and changed. Heroisms may become villainies, and the opposite. Such is simply the way of things. But at the very least, I will have legacy. Whereas you are but a page in the bestiary.
Make me an intimidation using your intelligence.
Can I give
or
the
your
help
wisdom,
action?
your choice. You don't know anything, Theolyn. You just see him like point to you, gesture, and then like he points towards the creature, or the creature's eyes flare, and they're just speaking back and forth like, and then you hear, which is funny because it's coming from a small cat.
21.
21. You may have safe passage. What is your name, child of blue, black of cat?
Tosk.
Tosk.
But I did not come only for promise of passage. You see, that you would have given us, for if you did not, you would have died. I come to make you an offer, friend.
I'm going to make you an offer you cannot refuse. Go ahead.
You are forgotten, but we will not be. If you were to stand by us, perhaps your strength may yet echo once more in the stony doldrums of history. The mark you'd once left now faded, once more re-etched.
Fuck. You're giving me really good speeches, man.
Yeah.
You hear, and what if my name was never written? What if it was another? Then what? Would I be etched into history anew?
Perhaps.
And what of these lands? What of my kin, slain by your own kind? What of them? Their memories sullied and forgotten.
pale shadows in comparison to yourself. Perhaps your new legacy will inspire them to new heights.
No new heights for them. It stares at you. Once again, its eyes flash blue. This is not you trying to deceive it. This is a deception check, please.
Yes.
This could be force of will, so this could be wisdom if you want.
Alright, that's a 12.
12.
Mm-hmm.
You cast out. Though you show promise, ability above the others. Admiring mages of the past, seeking knowledge which is not yours. And you see its eyes disappear and reappear and on the ceiling below some stalactites as it stares down at you. Its tail seems to whip back and forth as lightning follows it. You seek greatness. Or not. You seek permanency. You seek endurance. Yet you have not endured enough. I ask of you, child of blue, what is your goal? Why do you seek endurance above all else?
A fascinating question. When presented, one must ask, what does the world mean to them? To those who say nothing, they will die nameless. But to those who say everything, it is they who leave the deepest impression. I seek permanence because I care. I wish to make of myself something. We've all heard stories, and we all want to be in them ourselves. So simple and childish a desire, yet so deeply intrinsic to the mortal way. Ultimately, despite the labels you cast, there will come a day when you die. We share that, you and I.
Its eyes flash blue once more as it stares at you. Are you telling any lies to it?
Absolutely none.
Make me one more persuasion check with your intelligence, and I will give you advantage here. I forgot. I didn't realize the queue ended. I thought it was just gonna keep playing. I forgot to do repeat.
Yeah, I've had my own music playing in the background, and it ran out recently as well. The tense silence has honestly been very atmospheric.
So, Domino, what did you roll?
22.
22. It stares at you. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
It stares at you intently. And Theolyn, you feel this pressure building in the air. You feel like lightning starting to strike in different places in the chamber, giving a small bit of light. You see blood spewed around. You can see scorch marks in the chamber. And Theolyn, what is your passive perception? As these two stare.
17.
As you get closer to that area,
Yeah.
you could see this bluish purple blood. This liquid.
Mm-hmm.
And you could see...
I think I know what it is.
You could see that it's pushed up through this spiked hole.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you could tell. But as the
It's an
sparks,
egg, isn't it?
as the sparks begin to, it stares down at you once more, Tusk. Tiny child of blue, child of the blue weaver, the seamstress of all. You are courageous and stupid, but I, Salazar, seer of all, holder of the true sight, welcome you as an ally. Leave this place. I will find you when I finish what I have to do here. It won't be long. Where is your current goal, so I may be pointed in your general direction?
We seek Sypha.
You see its head turn, and you can see a look of recognition in its eyes. The Archmage that passed through here but a few days ago. Interesting. She spoke of seeking the town elder to ask about the legend of the Skybreaker, the Sky Slasher, and the Guardian sealed at this peak. And one of its hands points up. Though they left not too long after day broke, you are on the right trail.
Thank you, friend. Together, twice born are we unto strength.
Now leave.
Alright. He's gonna turn around and walk out. His stubby little legs just kind of fucking marching.
Domino. As
Yep.
you look towards Theolyn, who seems to be staring at this as Theolyn, you look to him and say, "Oh, okay, time to leave." You look towards that area, and now that you're here, roll me an investigation check, just really quickly. This is just as you're going, and just now that you're here and can actually see everything, and feel everything, and smell everything. I need to make a spell called Arcane Nose, Arcane Ear.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Oh my god.
or Arcane
Is it,
Foot.
what? Well, you're gonna make arcane taste as well?
Yes.
I'm
The
gonna
spell
kill
only applies
myself.
to the tongue.
Domino,
What?
what'd you roll for your investigation?
Oh, yes. That is a... Let's see here. 19.
You can't be certain for sure, but there's definitely a dead creature in there. And looking at this area around, you've read on Behirs. In their lair, when they mate, they seem to find a safe area and lay a clutch of eggs within holes in the wall, fortified areas. You get the feeling that's the clutch of this cave.
Oh no.
Well, there we go.
Those people probably destroyed the ambulance.
Yep.
Anyways, unless there's anything else you guys would like to do in this cave.
Off to the tower.
Okay. Theolyn, as you begin to leave,
Yeah.
you feel a pressure as lightning strikes in front of you as Tosk continues to move forward. And Tosk, you notice this, but you don't sense any hostility at the moment, as lightning seems to be just striking in the cave to stop you from exiting specifically.
Oh, Tosk, I'll catch up in a second.
He nods and continues.
As you turn around, the Behir is slithering towards its horde as it reaches out with one of its hands and takes, not towards its sword, towards one of the bodies, and reaches out and takes one of the swords. And this nearly shattered sword, it's broken in many places. It's barely held on through its center point here, the focal point where the main strength of the sword comes from. This beautiful double-edged, well, double-bladed sword. Well, not double-bladed. It has one blade, but it has both edges are sharp. And you can see at the top of it there is this beautiful point to it that's been broken. Almost like, you know when lava splits up, or like when water like web designs outwards? It kind of looks like that. That's how the breaks look. And there is just sword missing. It begins to take that up, and it looks over to you, and it throws the sword as it clinks down before you. A gift. You hear.
Apologies, noble creature, but I do not speak the language of dragons, but I thank you for such a gift, I assume.
It stares at you, and it seems to ready itself into a battle-ready position. Make an insight check.
Oh, okay. What's my insight? +7. 23.
As it does so, you get the feeling it is challenging you in a non-deadly way, because if it was going to challenge you in a deadly way, it would just kill you immediately. You get the feeling it didn't get to test your strength, and it wishes to test your strength.
Okay.
So
I'll stab my great sword that I got from the King in Iron into the ground, and I'll pick up the sword it tossed me.
this broken sword? Okay. As you pick up the broken sword.
Oh.
Well, hold on. Your character doesn't know this. You look up towards the creature, and you see a little bit of surprise in its face, but then it gets ready. Roll initiative. As this is a duel, mind you. So,
Alright. Would this have the standard ×5 or 15 or whatever? Or
yes,
is this
so
just
any
gonna
damage
be
you deal is ×5. So you would roll the damage. Well, I'll say this: whatever you're using. So this is a long sword.
Yeah.
So it would be strength. It would be your strength ×5 plus whatever abilities you use on it. So it'd just be a long sword. So just use longsword damage, and then you could add whatever on, and then whatever damage you deal, your total damage is multiplied by 5. If you roll a crit, it's multiplied by 10. Anyway, so roll initiative, as it is trying to challenge you now.
I got an 18.
What is your modifier?
0. It's gonna go first.
So the creature rolled an 18 with a +3. So as you pick up the sword and stare at it, you stare at it, and it moves towards you. It's not going to use its legendary action because that's a dick move. As it gets directly by you, and it brings its head down to chomp at you. As it brings its head down to bite you, it is going to make an attack. Let's see here, because it goes first, it gets its ambush advantage on you. So that would be... What is your AC?
I'm gonna shield for 24.
As you bring your shield up, you watch the creature bite down, and the shield actually knocks its head upwards, giving you an attack of opportunity. One attack, as it rolls critical fail with that.
Okay.
So as it comes to bite down towards you, actually send the shield up into its jaw, pushing it upwards, and you reveal its neck.
I'll non-lethally kind of twist or flip the blade in my hand, so I have the pommel, and strike where I can. I have a +6. 16.
16. Unfortunately, that does not hit. So as you bring the pommel up, it just glides off the soaked scales of this creature, and it seems to have no effect, unfortunately.
Okay.
As it does so, it seems to move its body, it starts to wrap around you with its long body, and as it does, it pulls its body together to constrict you. What's your AC?
24 with the shield.
So as it tries to constrict you, the shield pulls around you, and you manage to keep it just at bay, about an inch from your body from starting to constrict you. That will end its turn, so it is now your turn. It seems frustrated as it can't get to you.
I'm going to bonus action Hexblade Curse.
Okay. As you do so, bits of fire and ember begin to appear around it. and then you watch the embers die out. Your Hexblade's curse goes away. And you hear in your mind, "Not until you make your decision, child."
Suppose I can't make that decision now, can I? Instead, I will. Well, I already did that, but for my main
You will
action,
not be entirely fucked over, but little things.
yeah, I'm going to attack twice, and both times I'm going to use Guided Strike for a +10 to the roll.
Okay, go ahead. Natural 20
And
and
that's
natural
it.
20.
That would be super swag, but 26 and 31.
31 is a crit. So roll the 26 first. So this is 1d10, I'd say, because you're two-handing it, right?
Yeah.
1d10 plus your
I'll roll
strength.
this in chat.
And if you're using any smites,
Well, this is non-lethal, but he did heal. I guess I'll do 1 smite for 2d8.
okay.
2d10 plus.
Remember, if you use another smite, it'd only be 3d8 instead of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the thing.
14 times 5, which would be
Which is
50,
70.
Okay. As you
And this is
bludgeon
the
it in the face once, and it seems to reel from that heavy hit.
And I will expend. Let me check my spell slots. I've just used the 1.
Take your pommel and stab it into the bludgeon it in the neck where it seems to look down to you and growl. It like starts to bellow outwards as you just hit it directly in the trachea. As you then take your sword and hit it with the flat of your blade directly into the. I'd say no, the palm. You take the pommel again, and this time jump up out of your shield and jam it directly into its eye, hitting its eyeball. Not breaking it, but.
Thank God, I don't want to blind.
Yeah.
I don't want to blind it. So for this, we'll expend a third.
We'll see if you
for
kill
the
it.
initial.
Because the critical hit is hard to be non-lethal. If you deal more than its total HP, you kill it.
I revivify. Could I revive?
If you have the diamond.
I do, I think.
Anyways, so continue. So roll damage, please.
So 3rd level for the initial one. So this won't be the bonus 1d8. I think this is 2, 3, 4d8 smite damage because it's the first one I'm using.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll expend 2 more first levels for an additional 2, so 6d8.
Yep. If it was undead, you would get the additional d8 on top of that, but unfortunately, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
That's bad. That's pretty bad
21 times
damage.
10 is 210.
Yeah.
So, as you jump up and bring your pommel down, it seems to move its eye out of the way, but as it does, it seems to slip on the ground, and you just bring it down directly into the side of its face, and just hit it onto the ground. As its head just seems to, its skull seems to shatter in a part of it, and it seems to go unconscious immediately. As it is not dying, but as you cast Cure Wounds immediately, it seems to come back to consciousness. That blow, out of character, that blow would have nearly one-shot it in the actual fight. Yeah, because that's 210 damage. It has like 300 health. Anyways, so as you pull back from that attack, the creature looks at you and growls for a second before you look towards your sword, and it's just the sword that you were using. It's just broken, and it seems to go over towards its horde and pull a beautiful platinum-bladed sword with a golden hilt and a rapier specifically, a platinum-bladed rapier with a swift hilt of gold upon it, a beautiful pommel that seems to come to a specifically very expensive-looking diamond, and this white gold kind of colored handle on the inside of the hilt, as well as golden threading cord around it. As it seems to pull that out, it throws it to you as it bounces towards your feet. It stares at you as if to give it a gift and to respect you, as it takes a small chunk of ice that's just in the lake around it. It just puts it on where you just shattered its fucking skull.
Yeah. I'll bow deeply to the creature and pick up the rapier.
Okay. As you pick it up, the creature releases the lightning from the cave entrance. Meanwhile, Tosk, you hear as you're walking by, do 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 do, ding 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 ding.
Ah. I see.
Like, you hear all that stuff, and you see, like, the flash of, like, heavy light, like, just radiant light pass by you in the tunnel for a second.
I come out unscathed, except before I leave, I express my sympathies, because I'm pretty sure that these hunters killed its mate and destroyed their eggs.
He does not seem to understand you, in retrospect. Out of character, it does not speak common. As it seems to look towards you, it's going to make an insight check. No. It seems to just basically be telling you to leave now.
Alright, I leave.
As you leave out,
I need
Tosk,
to learn Draconic.
as you stand at the entrance, or the exit to the cave, did you wish to take any of the blood from any of the bodies while you're in the cave?
I'm actually gonna take one whole body.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't mind. It'll let you take a body.
Just one.
Unfortunately, it would be one of the more charred ones, so I would say at most you can get, like, a gallon. Not even a gallon, sorry, that's way too much. Like, maybe a pint of blood at most from it.
Do I have any blood on me from the dragon from crushing its skull accidentally?
From the dragon, yes. From the Behir,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, but here, my apologies.
As you leave the cave, you see Tosk is doing what?
Presently, he's sort of like sitting on the cliff edge, like dangling his feet. Like the blood trail from the body fucking dragged up right next to him. He's just kind of swinging him back and forth, looking down at the tower.
That's one way to get the blood needed for your ritual. Can't say I'm very sympathetic to the person who's in this state, as from context clues, I'm pretty sure these people came, killed this Behir's mate, and destroyed their eggs.
Oh, I admittedly have a crueler fate in mind than just blood for a ritual.
I'm not a fan of the desecration of dead bodies. But I suppose there's so much dust in this mountain that I can't see properly.
Desecration or penance?
Either way. Alternatively, I have a bit of blood on me from that Behir. Not mine, of course.
An
It's
interesting point, by the way. The body of the creature that you are, like, that you pulled out the chart is mostly charred because of the lightning that struck it, you assume. It is an Ozmir.
Osmir's orc, right?
No. That Ozmir is the name of the it is an Azamir, sorry. I forget you guys pronounce it weirdly.
I've always said Ozamar.
It's supposed to be like Kashmir, but it's Ozmir, yeah.
I see.
Yeah. And it's Orcelium is the land of the orcs.
Oh, wait, is this the angel thing that...
Angel people, yes.
Oh, okay. I always called it Azamir.
Okay.
Isamar,
There's so many. Okay. In any case,
asymmetrical.
it is like 3:30, and I'm kind of eepy.
So, as the two of you descend to the tower, are there any other small preparations you'd like to make before your characters sleep and we end the session?
I'm gonna... Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to cast Tiny Servant, and I'm
What?
going to cast Tiny Servant. You animate a tiny object, and you can command it to do tasks.
Sure.
I'm going to command this little animated knife to part the flesh from
Oh,
the
hi there!
bone.
I'm Mr. Knife. Nice to meet you.
Well, hi there, Mr. Knife. Skin this man.
Oh boy, okay.
Oh golly gee willikers!
You see this too, Theolyn.
Oh my god.
You know
I
Beauty and
speak
the
nice
Beast?
now?
You know Beauty and the Beast?
Yeah.
Basically that. But it's being used to flay a man.
Yep, just take all the skin, all the muscle, all the meat, give me bones.
I just want the bones, Batman.
You can now add Ozimir flesh, Ozimir meat, and Ozimir muscle to your inventory.
What an interesting inventory you have there.
I think I'll just leave the meat behind.
Okay.
But you'll take the skin.
What? Yeah, no, fry that shit up. Great snack.
Or, good parchment.
I mean, if you want to treat it, it's definitely a lot cheaper than fucking vellum. Do you know what vellum
think about it
is?
like this: Azimir in this world are very holy creatures. What kind of parchment could you make from holy skin?
The fucking best kind. That's
Yeah,
that's what you're
exactly.
writing. That's what you're writing your fucking spells on.
That's what I am. I'm unknowingly writing it on angel skin.
Yep,
Okay.
you get the angel skin.
Sheesh. Anyways, anything else, Domino?
Oh boy. Nope.
Okay.
Well, actually, before I forget, it's probably a good idea to just do this now. Okay. Actually, now that we have the blood,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we'll do the demon tomorrow, but I am gonna animate the skeleton.
Okay. You animate the bones.
Yep.
Good enough. So go ahead and mark that, just a reminder, because I won't remember.
Telepathy.
Anyways,
We do a little necromancy.
you, Theolyn, as the EP board
Yeah.
goes sleepy, EP, deepy, beepy.
Okay. 1. I'm going to attempt to tune to this rapier. If it can. I'm actually not sure if it's a magic item or not. I assume it is.
It is.
Alright. I'm going to attempt to loot it then. Attempt to attune to it then.
Okay. So, as you attempt to attune to it, you feel a small spark in your body, in your core. Do you attempt to focus on that strange heartbeat, that strange burn, that strange presence?
Yeah. Yeah, I think Theolyn will.
Make a wisdom check. Just a straight wisdom check.
What's my wisdom score? Give me a second. 17, I have a +3. 17.
17. Just enough. As you do so, you feel your very essence. You find yourself in a realm of gold. You see water reflecting the realm's clouds above you of red and purples and pinks. There's just gold. And you're on this beach shore.
Wow.
You see permanent what's it called? Sunset. Sunrise. You're unsure, but it seems one of the two. Or maybe both. And you can see coconut trees around you. Large resort chairs with beings of just pure gold sitting there. And you stare off at the edge of the beach, past the waters, and you can see a sun. A spiraled sun. It's not a direct center of a sun, but it seems to be a golden light that spirals. Gets smaller and farther away towards the center.
Is this Shugaroth's realm?
As you think that, you see standing from the water itself, a bit of the sand, this golden, beautiful pearlescent white sand, forms a creature, a humanoid shape. As the water pours off its sides, it runs down, creating clothing. And you can see its form starts to reflect your own as it pulls the rapier out. This seashell forms the rapier's swift hilt. A large swordfish kind of sworded nose appears, and it points towards you. As you look around, you see in the sand placed to your side is the rapier.
Oh.
As it
At a
points
game,
towards
is this a Corwin-like situation?
you. Maybe.
Oh, okay.
As you look down to your hands, they're devoid of much color, paler than normal. They're cold to the touch as you seem to touch yourself. You don't feel a heartbeat as strong. You feel insecure. You feel... how should I say? Not worthless, but lost. You see the rapier, and the creature points its sword towards you, now looking exactly like you, but with this golden sheen coming off of it. What are you doing?
I don't know what this is, but
It rushes
I can
you.
see.
What is
Yeah.
your AC, what is your AC without your armor?
Oh, what is that?
You look
10
down and
plus
you do not
dexterity?
have your armor on you. You are nearly completely naked except for your clothing. Yeah, 10 plus dex.
I do have my rings of protection. Will that add to this? Because I am
No.
attuned to the.
Your
Okay.
rings of protection, nothing attuned to you exists here.
Then it's just a straight 10.
Just a straight 10. What's your dexterity bonus?
0. I am going to shield to make
0.
this 15 if I can.
What's your proficiency bonus?
+4.
Plus 4. So the creature comes up and strikes towards you as you bring your hand up to shield. What? Is this a paladin spell, or what kind of spell is the shield?
It's technically not a paladin spell. I have magic initiate as a wizard. And I chose shield as my first level spell for magic initiate.
As you recall the grueling task of finding a way to defend yourself, you pull up this shield and it flickers into existence. Make me a wisdom save.
Do I have my aura?
Yes.
All right, this is +14. Oh, whoa. My dice fell on the floor. Hold on. Okay. That is a 8 plus 14, 22.
You recall the greatness of Ryan Farrow and his eagerness for you to learn as you deflect the first blow, as it glides off to the side, as it nearly lets go, it takes it by the backhand and stabs towards you again. What's your AC now? 15?
Yeah,
And your proficiency bonus is?
+4.
Plus 4? It stabs straight through the shield and into your shoulder. Let's see here. That would be... How much health do you have? Because you haven't long rested yet.
149.
149? Sorry, that's the wrong dice. What am I fucking doing? It would be... What's your strength score?
13, so I have a +1.
What is your charisma score?
20, so I have a +5.
Okay. Just gonna use some charges.
Oh.
You take 42 points of magical piercing and radiant damage added to that.
42 total or 84 total?
42 total.
Okay, I'm at 107.
And it stabs into you in the side through your shield, and you see it stares at you, and you can see its face turns to yours with a sad look on its face as it stares into your eyes. I need you to make me another... Actually, this would be a charisma saving throw.
Charisma? I have a +16. 26.
You feel this memory pass through your mind of you injuring your mother, and you can see it's mocking you.
You will come to regret that.
Action surge.
Ow.
You have action surge, right?
No.
No, never mind then. I thought you did. My bad.
I'm not. That's Bill. I'm not a. I don't have fighter at all.
Oh wait, it definitely would have done this though, because it did hit you. I didn't say it did it, so no, that's my bad. As it stabs into you, it stares at you mockingly. What are you doing? You're standing there as you're within arm's reach of the sword. What are you doing?
I grab the sword and attack.
Go ahead and make an attack roll, and you can use your charisma instead.
All right. Well, I can because I have Hex Warrior.
Wait, you already had that?
Yeah.
Okay.
You get that as a level 1 Hexblade Warrior.
Okay.
I'm going to use a free use of Guided Strike from my Amulet of the Devout.
Okay.
I will add plus 10 to this roll, and as a Hex Warrior, I have a plus 9 for a one-handed. I can touch one weapon that I'm proficient with that lacks the two-handed property. I should because I have proficiency in martial weapons. And when I attack with that weapon, I can use a plus 9 for the attack and plus 5 for damage.
Okay.
Because that's just my charisma. So I have a plus 19.
Sure.
That is a 34.
34?
Yeah.
Yeah, that hits. What's your AC normally?
Without armor?
Yeah.
Just the 10. I don't have a dexterity modifier.
Okay.
If they're going to include their proficiency, which I imagine you have been doing, it's 14.
It's gonna shield. So that still is a critical hit, unfortunately. So as you see, it pulls its shield up similar to how you just did it. Sand and rock and water pour over it before stabbing through directly into like where its heart should be. Go ahead and roll damage. And I will say, Are you using any charges from the weapon?
Oh, how many? Do I have a feel for how many charges it has?
Nope.
Okay, I will. And on top of that, I will smite.
Okay, how many charges do you want to attempt to use?
4?
4. Okay. Remember that you've used 4. Go ahead and roll 4d12 radiant damage on top of that.
Okay. I will include my smites now.
Okay.
So, let me write all this. Let me get the equation rolling first before I hard commit.
Okay.
Can I two-hand a rapier? Is it a versatile or no?
No.
Okay. 1d8 plus 5 plus 4d12, right?
Mm-hmm.
Plus, all right. 4d8, because that's third. Actually, no, hold on. Instead of third, I'm going to expend my innate spell for fifth, so that's just 5d8.
Mm-hmm.
And then 6, 7, 8 from my second level spell slots.
Okay.
8d8. Right? That should be it. Divine Smite. Yeah, 1d8. Okay.
Sure.
78 doubled to 156.
So you strike into this creature's heart and you watch as the energy pours into it and bursts the creature as every piece of it goes flying and turns into sand and water. As you stand there, you breathe for a second, the fresh air and wind pouring over you. It's done. As you see more of these creatures begin to form, 7, 8, 9, and they all start to form around you as this horde, you begin to bat it off as they all start to rush towards you. And as you stare at each of these creatures as its eyes forms, another vision of your past happens. The Onkeg incident, the telling of the destroying of the important site, the death, the near death of your mother, the berserk, the killing of the innocents that you did multiple times, all of these mistakes continue to pour and pour through your mind. Your previous self, who believed undead were evil, and then many times you've killed them, even though now that you're thinking back on it, the one thing that pierces into your mind, that starts to pierce deeply as these creatures are surrounding you, as you're just fending them off as much as you can. You recall your first mission where you were sent out to kill an undead. A necromancer had raised an undead creature within Durath.
Mm-hmm.
A woman who had raised a child's corpse. And you thought... You never asked questions. But thinking back on it now, who was that woman? Who was that child? All you know is you obliterated that woman in an instant, as she was trying to talk to you. She seemed unhostile, but those who would raise the dead, Shugaroth despises. Or so you thought before. Now you're not so sure. Theolyn, as all these memories are passing through your mind, what is Theolyn's mental state like?
Theolyn is a person racked by guilt. At least originally, after the fight with Bill, the fist fight where they were naked and oiled, he felt a lot more confident and sure about himself, and then the events with the rage happened. I think in these moments of his failures, he at first feels like a great deep sense of guilt and failure and shame, and I think in that moment Theolyn would, instead of succumbing to that, will think about how, despite these failures, he has made great memories and new choices and has learned greatly from all these tragedies and has become a better person afterwards.
As these creatures are dogpiling you and you're starting to fend them off, you feel the touch of one of them, and this golden hand sends energy through your body, and you recall finding an unconscious man in the desert, a smoldering flame, who you brought back to consciousness, who was going to be a great asset to the world in this dark era. You recall Bill and your fight against him. You recall the friends you've made, the friends you've lost, those that you've fought alongside, Corwin and them, who you've saved a few times. Even in your few days of knowing them, you know they are great assets. You know this world would be much different without you. You recall your mother and how your intervention seemed to put her on the right track with the Pope. Rather than being a booty call, she's now engaged, or so you would assume. You recall your mother and how she was very distant from others, and how she's grown and is no longer afraid to put herself out there. You recall Ryan Farrow in one of his darkest moments, picking him up by the bootstraps and giving him hope once again. You recall Pyre, the first time you met her, the first time you talked and touched her. You recall the moment where you the moment you engaged her, and the moment you engaged her.
Yeah.
You recall coming to hate her for a minute there because of charm, and that sends you into a small spiral, but you come back to recalling that that wasn't you, and that you hate Serenavon for that, and that when it comes to it, she will need to die. And then the last memory that comes to you is you're fighting against all these creatures, is Agrippa, an undead you met, who you thought needed to die, but changed your mind, or set you on that right path. A man who found undeath necessary as a balance to this world, wherein you saw it unnecessary, he kindled it, creating a mage, a warrior, who could stand the test of times and do great good. And seeing this, you began your journey. You recall, after your greatest downfall, your greatest incident until the rage, the death of your friends, he was the one who brought you back from the brink of death. He was the one who showed you mercy. He was the one who taught you to think before acting, to think about your actions. And you recall he was the one who called out to Shugarath, to Soon, to his deity, to aid him. And you recall his cold hands feeling warm to the touch as the moonlight shone through your eyes as they came back from the ether, pulling you from your deep slumber. You recall all of these moments where you fell, and how much you've grown. And as you do, you stare up towards this golden vessel that's been hounding you the entire time. As it stares down towards you, picks you up to your feet. This reflection of you, of golden energy. And it reaches its hand out to shake yours. Do you accept?
Yeah. I'll accept, yeah.
As you do, it brings you in for a hug, and you feel it push into your body, and you feel that small spark you had in you, that small bit of warmth that was rescinding with each bad memory, bursts. And as you awaken the next day, bits of motes of light pouring from the sky from this beautiful pillar of light fade. As we pull out the previous night, as you were focusing on this weapon, we watch as a beam of light pushes in the Angelic Aeilands into the sky, showing the birth of a new celestial, or the awakening of one. And that's where we're going to end the game for tonight. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope you have a good one. I'll get to it.